welcome to the very first episode of Weller Informed. I'm your host, Evan, and today I'm with my good friend, Andy. Andy,
Howdy.
welcome. Thank you so much. I'm like 11 out of 10 excited that you agreed to do this. I've been thinking about doing the podcast for just the last couple of weeks, and finally I was just like, let me just do it. Like, I gotta start. You know what I mean? It's so hard starting at just like square one, but I was like, let's just do it. I couldn't even sleep last night.
Am I'm impressed about the that is the hardest part, dude, is getting started. And yeah,
Dude,
it's definitely out of the blue, but I'm in, man. Let's do it. Yeah.
yeah. It was great. I was like trying to think. I was like, who are like the easiest people to have a conversation with? Like, I was just trying to think like, who are people like throughout my life that I've had like really good conversations with, like just for those of you who don't know, Andy and I went to Wisconsin together. We lived next to each other. Met freshman year, so almost I guess 19 years. I guess it's over 19 years ago now, which is mind-bending to think about.
Yeah, that's wild. That is wild.
Yeah. So, yeah, just want to make sure. Like, I was just like double checking my recording. I did some podcasts. I did some previously. I've done like dabbled in like some podcasts, nothing like this. But I remember one, like I wasn't even like recording like the first 15 minutes. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Scarred.
But yeah. Yeah, like you're saying, like, the whole like starting thing, right? Like I was sort of like, you almost have to like embrace the cringe, right?
Yeah, it's just gonna be painful. It's definitely painful, but like in a good way. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's just like it's that starting square one that like zero is just I mean it's just, but you got to do it. But like for me, I was like, I don't really like, I'm not particularly interested in like, oh I need to have like 1 million followers, or like I'm gonna want to be famous or anything. It's almost just like an excuse to have like good conversations and like catch up with people and just like sit down and like have like an adult conversation.
For sure,
like
and it's like one of those
young
things
kids.
you just like Rogan says this all the time, but like you just never get to, like, in real life. Like, how often do you really like sit down and talk to someone for an hour? Like it just
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
happen. Yeah. So I get that for sure.
So that's exactly it. So it's like can't talk. So that was just my sort of like brief little like just sort of like my brief little thing about just intro to the pod. Hoping to just like obviously I guess the benefit to like getting like listeners and followers is you just get
quit your
more enticed
sucking corporate job and
no. Yeah, right. You would have to make yeah, that would take, I would, by the time it would take me it would probably take longer. To build a base. It probably takes 10 years or something. But I would say the benefit to get the benefit though is that you can potentially talk to more interesting guests, right? Like more people that more people you follow, you can be like, hey, random person, like, who's this, like, right? If I because I was thinking, I was like, because what I think I might do is like try to reach out to like PhD students, like just like interesting people, right? And just like hear what they say, because I've been like sort of like just like I don't know, I've been like in like a like psychology, like PhD psychology students, or just like different areas of like science, just I mean, just have like interesting conversations. But anyways, let's put that aside and just how have you been up to lately? How have you been spending your time? You said you hit yoga earlier today.
Yeah, actually, like, talking about starting new things, I like did a first yoga class in a while, man. Not first ever though. But yeah, no, it was good. It's good to get back in there, and like,
what yoga? What kind?
I think so it was at like this place in Austin called Black Swan that does like I think that like flow yoga is their like kind of, it's like a hot flow kind of thing. I think it's their brand, but I honestly just picked it because they don't like do memberships, or like you don't have to. It's just straight up like pay, and it's donation based. So like
oh, nice.
It's basically, it's like super chill, like show up kind of thing.
So
yeah,
yoga. So it's so funny. I've actually like also been dabbling in yoga lately. It's sort of like one of the I just, I like feel like I go in a million directions. I have so many interests out, and like I'll do so. I'll get really into something.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude,
But I was thinking,
man, you totally have to like. We got like pin that. I want to.
I know.
Yeah.
The jiu-jitsu one, I just don't want to get to hit the jiu-jitsu, but the yoga. So the one thing about yoga, there's like Ashtanga, I think it's called. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. Like Ashtanga, it's like Venetian.
The names mean nothing to me, but I've heard it.
Yeah. So I was looking it up. So I guess for Ashtanga, like the thing that's like really cool about it is it's the same set of moves every time. It's called like the primary series, and so it's the same. So actually, like I've been reading a book on it, and like just doing some like, YouTube videos. But it's exact same moves. So it takes like some people take years and years to master, but you can't go to like the next set until you master sort of the current set.
Okay.
Set of moves, and it's very it's movement based, and it's very into breathing. Like all the breathing's coordinated. So like exactly how long you hold a pose, like your breathing is controlled throughout the entire
and like
session.
When each breath ends and starts.
Exactly.
And like the exhale. Okay, gotcha. Cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What motivated you to how did you get into yoga? Were you sort of just trying to switch it up or what?
I mean, I guess like I always like I don't know, since we had Lucas, right? I've been doing like my own thing mostly fitness wise. Actually, I like feel like missing part of it is just like missing out. Haven't been to jujitsu as much, in the last whatever. Now, almost 2 years. Like he's coming up on 2 years this January, right? Which is like another crazy thing to think about. But so yeah, like I feel like part of it is like miss the camaraderie, I guess, of jujitsu, but then also like just wanted to like kind of ease into like getting back out there doing things in public. You know what I'm saying? Like as opposed to like jujitsu a little bit kind of it can rough you up a little bit, so I definitely
I hear I mean that's what I sort of got into yoga too. I was like whenever there's just something to like you feel like you can make progress at, like just any new activity, right? Especially measurable. That's like that thing that drew me to like Ashtanga. I was like, oh man, like what if I can do this whole series? Like how long will it take me to get through like all these steps? And like I just do feel like it improves just like sleep and just like it feels good. Like if you're flexible,
yoga
you know
is
what I mean?
Like good for everything. Yeah, it's like it literally does like and like breathing. Like it's crazy how much that like how much that affects everything. Like because if your breathing's fucked up when you're trying to do something like even working, like like you don't realize it, but like I think I heard about like the way that people breathe when they like check their email is just like completely like physiologically like unhealthy. It's like one of the worst like breathing patterns you can possibly have, and it's like associated with what people do when they're like looking at their email. So if yoga can help you not do that, right?
The breathing, it's the breathing stuff is super interesting. So I've been really into that as well. So I've been trying to like Ashtanga, like I was in the book actually as where they were talking about it, is every breath is in and out through the nose, like mouth is always closed, so inhale and exhales. Because I always thought like the proper way to breathe was like inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. But Ashtanga, and so I've been doing that for probably the last like 4 or 5 months, just like concentrated on nasal breathing. So I've been doing mouth tape at night, like when I sleep, I'll do the mouth tape.
Yeah.
And then because I was snoring, and so I ended up I was trying everything for the snoring, and eventually got like a wedge pillow, which I completely like solved it. Like if I'm elevated, but I did the mouth tape, and the other thing I've been doing with the breathing is because I've been really into running lately, and so I'll run, and when I run and when I lift now, mouth is closed the entire time, so only nasal breathing, and it's made a huge difference. Like, I don't know if you do you track your like VO2 max by chance?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been tracking that. So I mean, part of it's running, obviously, but like the breathing stuff. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's like small changes make massive differences.
I believe it, and I like. It's funny you mentioned snoring because I like. I don't know if you remember. Or I like used to fucking like when I'd crash on your couch and you were in the loft at that apartment. You'd like fucking bitch at me for be like, bro, stop snoring. And of course I was drunk, right? Which probably makes it way worse the snoring. But anyways, I've always snored, right? So I think it was like I want to say like 7 years ago ish. I actually went to a like dentist who like specialized in snoring, and they got like basically I used this like they got me like this custom fitted appliance that like moves your jaw like forward when you sleep. So like
Okay.
basically there's like these like hooks on your like goes onto your teeth, and there's these like hooks that go down, and
Okay.
then the other ones goes on your teeth, and there's these hooks that like hook on those, and then they like keep your bottom jaw like protruding almost like forward,
Oh,
right?
interesting. Okay. And that.
Anyways, that basically like cured the snoring, but then it was pretty, I think it was like 4 grand or 4,500 bucks. It was, it wasn't cheap. And after like I think it was like 11 months, like my jaw like just must like be too strong. I broke the little things off, and I'm like, well shit, like this should last more than 11 months. And then um they're like, oh, it's a warranty, and so then it like I got it like fixed under the warranty, but then it like broke again, I think, after another like 6 months, and the same thing, just like snapped the
Okay.
little like
So is it a
like
mouth?
clips off.
Is it a mouth guard?
It kind of is. It's like yeah, you can picture like a football mouth guard that like goes over your top, but there's one on the bottom too. But it's like really like fitted, right? So it like your teeth fit like exactly into it. Uh and then yeah, like the like bottoms like slide, and then there's like clips on them. Anyways, it's like interesting like thing, but anyways, so that one broke as well. So I'm like, shit. The whole time that was going on, though, I was doing like, yeah, different things to like focus, mainly just like reminding myself to shut your mouth and breathe through your like nose kind of thing. Nothing like, I didn't get tape ever, but like focus and really like training jujitsu a lot during that time. Like that was a like one of those because as soon as you start like getting gas, that's the first thing is your mouth opens, and so
Yep.
like you like learning that of like okay, like mouth closed, like you're pushing too hard, like slow down, bigger breaths, like get like or like get back to like control your breathing, like anyways. And then so after my mouth guard broke, um I like was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna get a CPAP, right? Like,
Yeah.
my dad has one, and I'm like, well, that's like the gold standard of treatment for
Yep.
sleep apnea. Got tested, and they're like, oh, you don't have sleep apnea anymore, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Oh,
So I
wow.
haven't, yeah,
Okay.
like like I haven't done anything since then. I feel like I'm sleeping good, so
Okay.
um, yeah, knock on wood, I guess. I don't know, but like
Yeah.
part of me thinks too, like that thing on my jaw might have like like changed the structure of my
Yeah. Well, I
face
was
or
gonna say, yeah,
something.
one of the muscles.
Like
Yeah, exactly.
who
Yeah. And
knows? Like,
sometimes, yeah,
yeah, like
but yeah, that's great that,
yeah,
so
no,
fix
exactly.
that.
It's like it's
So,
way better. Yeah, way better.
yeah. So, yes, it's funny. Yeah. So about the sleeping thing. So we both have, I guess our kids are just a few months apart, right? Because yeah, your son Lucas turns 2. When's his
End of January.
end of January? Okay. Yep. And
Yep.
Madison, and my daughter, she just turned 2 in the middle of July. So,
Okay. Yeah.
yes. So how's parenting going? How's dad life?
Dude, it's the best, man. I fucking love it. Like, I can't, like, I'm happy as hell. Like, it's the best, dude. I mean, it's
Yeah.
stressful and busy and like, there's a million little things that are kind of annoying about it, and I have no
Yeah.
time and like,
Yeah. Yep.
but yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's awesome, man. Yeah,
Yeah. There's no time. Yeah. I
love it.
agree. Like, yeah, it is
Uh,
crazy. Like once you have a kid and like before you have kids,
you think you're
like
busy,
everyone,
and then
well,
everyone,
you think you're busy,
like
but also everyone like kind of says when they have kids, like they're like, oh, everything changes when you have kids, and you're like, oh yeah, whatever. Or like being a parent so awesome, you're like, okay, whatever. Then you have it, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like, I
It's
get it
like
now.
I like the only way I can think to like explain it is like everything I do has like a meaning now. Like before everything was
Yes.
just meaningless. It was just didn't
Yes.
matter. It was like, oh, like cool, like yeah, you're gonna get rich, like whatever. Like
Right.
or
Yeah.
like, oh,
Exactly.
like, like yeah,
And,
you'll get
and
jacked, like great. Like it just doesn't like it doesn't didn't mean anything. Like now
right.
everything is like, all right, like I gotta do this for the family because it makes, it's gonna make that little guy's life better, Like this is
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly. It is crazy. I
Yeah.
feel like that evolutionary like mindset. Like, I was just thinking, like evolutionarily, like when my daughter was born, like you just love that like being so much, and it's just
Right,
like
yeah.
I wouldn't hesitate to like
Yeah,
fight a
like
pack of wolves, right?
yeah,
Like I mean, like to
right,
put
yeah.
like if there's like a pack of wolves, like there'd be like no hesitation to like me putting myself in front of that kid and just being like, all right, let's
or like
go.
or like the trolley problem, right? The philosophy trolley
Oh
problem.
yeah.
Like, like there's the switch and it's like, oh, you could send the train down your track and it's gonna smash you or your
Oh,
kids. So like there's just like that's not even a choice. Like, yeah, I'm definitely
right.
gonna run myself over. Like
Oh
without
yeah,
a
yeah,
doubt. Like yeah,
yeah, yeah, absolutely, for the kids. So
yeah.
yeah, I think it is
Yeah.
like it is crazy the whole legacy and like the meaning things. I totally
But it's weird. I guess what like that part, I think I would have like intellectually got, but like what's like weird about it is that like it like feels good to feel that way. Like it feels awesome. It's like
right.
everything else is just like it just makes that like life feel like better. It's like it
Yeah,
makes
no,
it
I
like
agree. It
I
is,
don't know.
and like,
Yeah.
and actually, my nephew, I'm gonna have a nephew in probably less than 2 weeks. My sister's actually due in 2 weeks, so I'm excited for that as well. But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I was just telling her about the kid stuff. I was just like, it is just wild, like how much it changes. Just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, just perspective on life and just how you think about the future. And yeah, speaking of which, like what, like where do you think our kids are going to college?
Dude, I don't know. I don't know. I think the way that I would like, or the way that like I think about it and I would put it would be like, I think college will probably like change in a lot of ways, right? Like, and the idea that like everyone goes like, now I shouldn't say everyone goes to college because everyone doesn't go to college now, but
Right.
like that it's kind of the default idea is
Yeah,
like you
exactly.
graduate, you go to college. Like, I think that will change and it will be more of like there will be a certain type of person that kind of like now where it's like college is a good fit for some people and not for others. Like those people that it's a good fit for, I think are still gonna like go to college, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if
What?
it, like I don't know, like especially having a son and thinking about it, I'm like, what would I tell him, right? Like what advice would I give him? And I think like so much of it depends on like what he likes really like what kind of and not like oh like I like football because I mean everyone like everyone likes football but like what kind of things do you like to do on a day like do you like to like build shit with your hands or do you like to read books or like like do you
Yeah.
like new ideas or do they like scare you like what like what is like and like
Yeah.
there's
I was
no
gonna.
right or wrong answer, but like finding what's right for him, is the thing that,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's what we think about that as well. But I think the AI stuff is. I mean, I think college is obviously going to change, even if it wasn't for AI. It's just the way things are changing. But I don't know how like AI in the job market, like 20 years from now. I have no. Also, I don't know how in like undergrad today or even in graduate programs how uh, they're functioning with like AI. Why every student is not like? Can you like write a paper like writing an essay or writing a paper or doing homework? I mean,
Right.
there you can just take a picture of like the problem on if you have
The
a math
prompt, yeah,
assignment.
yeah,
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 you can
yeah.
just take a picture of it on your phone, right? And
Yeah.
ChatGPT will just or whatever AI program will just solve like just tell you the answer and the steps, and which is great. I mean, it's great for maybe tutoring, like learning, like the one benefit I've been thinking about is like trying to figure out like when like AI tutoring for like even elementary school, like does it make sense to like have an AI like tutor
Yeah,
your
yeah,
kid? It seems like it seems like there's a huge educational advantage to like
yeah.
sort of the AI personal tutors.
Well, they could
Uh,
be, but like like, I mean, it's like anything though. But like, obviously we don't have data on it, bro. Like we have no idea how
right.
this is gonna like. And I mean, there are some signs that like AI and people who use it a lot, like it might not be good, right? Like it may like, but then I don't know, right? Like
Yeah. When you say
how
not
do you?
when you say not be good, are you saying like good for like the individual, like the person using it, or like the quality it's producing? You're saying is not like
It
the
might not be good for the person who's using it. Essentially,
yeah.
like it will cause your ability to like think critically to atrophy, right? Like because you're
Yes.
not doing it. I mean, like, like it's like that. And now maybe like the amount of like productivity and increase in ability like to do things because it does it for you is so great that it doesn't matter, right? Like maybe the AI is just so good that like it doesn't matter that you can't like, critically think and come up with your own ideas and like push back on bad ideas. Like maybe that doesn't matter because AI is so good, but maybe it does, I don't
Yeah,
know. Like
I know,
it's like that
I
sort
know.
of thing.
I've had that exact same sort of thought, and even I've had a conversation with my wife Amber, where I was saying that like very thing, like our children, their jobs may be just to manipulate AI, right? Like that might
Yeah.
be like with the marketplace, right? In the marketplace,
Yeah.
like in like what's useless society and what makes you employable in 2 decades from now is your ability to manipulate and use AI. Uh, and so like going through, I'm just trying to think like elementary school or middle school. If you were to write an essay today, and what is the purpose of the essay? Is it to make the best essay in the class, or is it to learn how to think about the essay? Right, because
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that's where
yeah,
there's the
yeah,
disconnect.
exactly. Yeah,
Because if,
yeah.
in a corporate environment, if it's for profit, whoever has the best essay, whoever has the best product, whoever's the best work product, that's all that matters. Whoever has the
Yep.
best one of those that
Yep.
wins.
Yep.
But in school,
Education, yeah, it's completely different. Yeah.
exactly. But
What you do like literally doesn't matter. The only thing is like going through the motions kind of is that
right,
like
exactly,
actually like and when I say going through the motions, I don't even mean like you just doing like sending it in, but like literally like as the individual trying to learn, first of all, you have to like want to, right? Like, which is like I think back to like high school and like 90+% of the kids didn't want to, right? Like
right,
there was no
exactly.
desire to like actually like learn. And
Yes,
then like from
exactly.
there, once you decide like you want to like actually learn, it's all like it all comes down to just like pushing yourself like on some
Right.
level like it all comes down to just like making things harder for yourself intellectually kind of like learn like going through and like feeling like an idiot and like doing all this stupid shit and exposing yourself to new things and then
Ex-
like
ex-
on some level like that is the game of learning like that is and so, yeah so like to the extent that AI makes that easier then like it should probably make you worse at learning. But then
right.
at the same time, like if it makes you learn how to use the AI to like game the system better, and then like your job will be using AI, maybe that would be. I don't know.
No,
Like maybe that's all that would matter. I don't know.
no, I agree. I mean, I think a huge benefit to like learning and education is yeah, sitting there. Like when we were in college, you'd write an essay, right? And you're sitting in front of a blank piece of paper, right? And you have to start, and you've got to struggle, and you actually have to like
Yeah.
change your thoughts, like, and that's how you learn. But that's how you learn structure or paper, right? Like what it means, like
Yeah.
to an outline, like how to
But
build a
I
paper.
think like almost like the more important thing to me, at least like maybe it's just my own kind of failures, but like almost the more important thing about like writing the paper is like you said, it's like it's learning that the hardest part is starting a lot of times. Like it's like learning the emotions of like trying to get something done and like dealing with your own like bullshit and still getting it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like
yes. The self
because
motivation.
if you can't deal with your own bullshit, you're not gonna get anything anywhere.
Dude,
Like
that
yeah.
that is that is a fantastic. You're absolutely right. That is like a fantastic like life lesson, and that's sort of like one of those intangibles, like just being
Yeah,
able to like
yeah.
start. And I think but like that's
Deal with
it,
the frustration, deal with like push through and
and the
like it sucks
consistency,
and
the
yeah, and do it
consistency,
consistently. Yeah.
and
Bro.
and not only starting like because sometimes it is. I've been listening to like a lot of podcasts, like starting is actually kind of like seems to be like a theme in like a lot of podcasts lately. It's like starting, going from like uh I say 0 to 1, but that's Peter Thiel's
Yeah,
phrase, and
yeah,
that's a different context.
yeah.
But starting, but the other thing is once you start, because a lot of times it is easy to start stuff. Like you get really excited and you get that jolt, and it's like that novelty. Like I'm so attracted to novelty. Like it's so easy a lot of times for me to start certain like endeavors, but it's the boring middle, right? It's just the second like you don't see that progress,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
staying consistent, and like when you don't, that's like the whole like. And there's I'm glad that there's so many like books like that, sort of like James Clear, like Atomic Habits, and like some other books sort of go into it, but just like how powerful like consistency like is, like those small gains, like
Yeah.
the fact that they can compound, just like that compound interest of just like
And you don't
whatever it may
see
be.
it, yeah, and it's like
Exactly.
these little like but then yeah, like and that's it's honestly like I feel like jujitsu is such like a great metaphor. I gotta get back in there, man. Like it's firing me up for the jujitsu,
Yeah.
but it's such like a great metaphor for that because like all those things like you totally like it's like it's a getting to class, right? Like, okay,
Yep.
so like you start like feeling that like that like okay, I said I was gonna go to jujitsu today at 6, and it's like 5:15. I'm supposed to start packing my bags, and all of a sudden, like I have to take a shit, or I'm like, like oh, I kind of have a headache, and it's all these like bullshit excuses, and you're like, no, like that, like I've seen this before, like I know like there's bullshit, like I'm telling myself so I don't have to go and like get choked out, like, this is, like these
Yep.
like stupid like these like this little bit of like uncomfortable and then like the like in the middle ground like you were saying like those like where you're like like man I've been a blue belt forever and you're just like you've been training for 2 years and it just feels like you're still like the same well because the same people that tapped you before have been training for 2 years more and so
Right.
now they're 2 years better
Exactly.
and you're like oh but then like
Yep.
you have like that day where like you get fresh meat and some like white belt comes in and you're like oh my god like this is really, like was I that bad
Yeah.
like yeah and you have these like these eye-opening experiences too where it's like oh shit like
Yeah.
I am getting better and like yeah no it's man it's awesome.
Yeah. The jujitsu thing, I know I would be super into it. I just don't. I just don't want to get hurt. That's like the biggest thing.
That's I feel like that's like
Like
another like this is such a great lesson dude is like learning to like not go out to 11 every time like like turn
right.
up to 11 every time and I was
Right.
like that's like the normal thing it's like oh I'm gonna do this I'm gonna go all out no like that's just you cannot train jujitsu like it's like sometimes you just got to do like a RPE 3 you show up like you go like do the bare minimum but like getting in there and like and a lot of times if you have to trade between like intensity or consistency, like consistency is way better, right? Like
Oh
you're
yeah.
way better off showing up and doing the lightest jujitsu ever, but doing it 5 days a week than like
Oh
going balls out, like balls to the wall, like 2 or 3 times a week, right? And that
yeah.
that lesson is one that I'm still like that one kicks my ass every time because like it's easy to sit here and be like, oh yeah, just go light, but then like when someone's on top of you and like red trying to smash you and you're just like just go, and you just want to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you want to so like
I
it's like a work in progress,
Yeah, I
like
know my just ego. I would not be able to just like take it easy. I have to say, even so I used to do like mostly Peloton. I've been doing cardio like 4 times a week for a few years, but like recently I like switched from like doing like Peloton to running, and I'll do like trail running, and I was like, I'm not going to worry about my time. I'm not going to worry about my pace. I'm just going to like, just run for like 45 minutes. You know what I mean? I'm not going to look at the watch thing. Sure enough though, you know, I mean, like the second, like that pace and then like, I just, that ego, I mean, it eats at like, it's just like, what are you just going to like phone it in today? Like you got to hit the pace, got to get that PR. It's just like, and it's just like, oh no, I don't need
like,
that.
What's
I don't
the
need
point of even showing up if you're just gonna like, you know, go half-ass? Like,
right.
You just wasted this time. Could have been doing something else, spending with the family. Like,
or the other thing is just the other thing that concerns me is just like sort of like peaking, right? If I hit a PR, right? Let's say I hit a PR. Like today, I had a pretty good run. This morning I did, and it may have been like my best. It was probably pretty close to my best. Like I did 5 miles, but like my per mile was it was pretty close to the best. But I know if like 3 weeks from now, if I'm not hitting what I'm currently hitting, then I'm like, oh, did I peak? Am I like, did I already peak? You know what I mean? Am I the downhill?
That's the best moment of my life.
Right, exactly.
The rest
like
of my life is all downhill. Just mail it in.
Yeah, exactly. I cannot. My ego cannot handle
being
like
a 37-year-old man. Dude.
Right,
Like,
exactly. I cannot. I cannot handle having like not being able to achieve what I could do physically before. So that's why I always have to keep pushing myself. So I've been into so I've been really into trail running. Like that's been like my jam. So like the whole like nature, like I'm doing morning trail runs like 5 miles through the woods, and I'm just like I just can't get enough of it. Like,
dude, what does a normal like day look like for you? Like, what do you like?
Yeah,
because don't you work like long ass hours too, right?
Yeah,
Like how many hours are you putting in on a week? Like,
so I'll tell you my typical day.
Let's say an average week.
No, I got you. I know. So I wake up. So my day is this. It's very structured. I wake up. I immediately will get stuff prepped for like food for like lunch for later in the day as I like get like my daughter get Madison going in the morning. And then we have a nanny that will show up and do like breakfast with Madison. And as soon as that happens, I'll get a workout in just at my house. I have like a gym, and like I have trails like on like right like just right down the street from me. So I'll do I got half of my workouts in the morning because work can get like pretty unpredictable. So after I'll do a quick workout in the morning, 6 days a week, never miss it. Like no excuses. I will not miss it. Right. And I don't do breakfast.
What time is your workout then?
It's usually, around like 8:30 maybe.
Okay.
So, like 8:30, I usually start work. I'll like, depending on the day, if something is urgent, like the nice thing is since I work at home, if I have like an urgent request in the morning, I can always pop in my office for a little bit. But
like stupid question. Well, what makes something urgent on like as a
deal.
M&A lawyer?
Yeah. So you capital markets attorney. Yeah. So yes, capital markets. So like when we'll have deals going to market, right? So like we're drafting a prospectus, like an offering document for investors, and the banks will be on like very strict timelines when they need to get like deals out the door into the market. So I just have extremely tight tight comment deadlines, or I have to review
like,
stuff.
Oh, this like contract has to get like done like in the next hour. Like,
it's usually not. Yeah, it's usually not like a contract thing. What would usually happen is like there'll be like an urgent question from like a client, like just or a deal change or a deal term changed. It just there's all sorts of just so much. My job is just like putting out problems or just like problems like pop up on the deal, I shouldn't say problems. It's just unique situations. Just like how do we handle this in the deal? Like how should we disclose this? Like, or there's just a deal term needs to change, or someone just has a question about how the deal should work. So it's usually not.
Let's say, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say it was usually like, so there are like urgent requests, and we always try to be like extremely responsive to clients. So it's important that we're responsive. So, but generally I have a pretty good sense. Most days I have a sense of like how many urgent requests I'll have.
Okay.
So anyways, yeah, so I'll
Okay, so
get a workout.
workout in.
Yeah, I'll
And
get a
then,
workout. I'll try to be at like, and I'll try to be like at my desk, by like 10 most days, like ready to work.
okay.
Then I'll work till like lunch. And then the afternoon after lunch, I'll work till dinner. I'll do dinner and put Madison to bed and stuff, and then I'll get back on and work until like usually around like 10 p.m. So like usually I'm like 10 p.m. and then the weekends it just depends. Also, it also depends just how busy I am. I mean, it is like very much like I'm sort of like always working I'm always on. I don't really have any hours, like, so I'll always respond to a client request. Like if it's at 10 p.m. if it's 9 p.m. on a Friday night, it's fine. It's actually made it easier, the fact that like having a kid is actually kind of made it easier, because I'm not really like out partying or anything, right?
Right,
So,
yeah.
So I'm usually stuck at home most nights anyways.
And so you said you have a nanny, and then does Amber work?
She still works. Yep. She works full time. She works full time.
Does she go into the office, or is she okay?
No, she's fully remote. Yeah. So she's fully remote. She was remote before it was cool. She was when we moved to Charlotte.
Nanny's taking point on Madison. So
yeah, exactly. Nannies, and she'll work until like Amber's done at work at 5. Like Amber has pretty like hard stop at 5.
That's a like. It sounds like an awesome. That's like what I like want to get to, is like I want to get a nanny, honestly. Like part of me is like, dude, like just having someone to like be and like I work from home, so I do a lot of like childcare and stuff and like help, but like, and my job's chill enough that like that's not a problem, but like I could do a lot better job of at my work, I feel like, if I had that like more focus, you know what I'm saying? Like more like,
no, I hear you. Yeah, no, absolutely.
yeah.
Like having like the childcare like help, like definitely for like during the day, that's huge. So
yeah.
all right, we can keep. How are you doing on time? You want to keep? I just have to. You want to keep rolling here for a little bit? Okay, then let me just give me 1 second then.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll keep it going here then. No, this is great. Yeah, so the nanny makes it like definitely makes our lives like from a work standpoint, just so I don't have to worry about like childcare stuff like during the day. And then I'll work most evenings, which is fine. I mean, which is fine. But so I work. So I work. So I work a lot. It's although I do have a little bit more control over my time. I mean, I've been at the firm for over a decade now, so I have a little bit more. Just I don't have like a mid-level associate telling me what to do anymore, right? When you're like a junior and like at a firm, right? When you're a junior attorney, you're sort of like you're answering to like a lot of internal like stuff, right?
Like bullshit. Okay, gotcha.
Just like deadlines that are like, you're sort of at the mercy of like, if a mid-level associate wants to like review your work before it goes out, you have to like answer the mid-level associate's deadline, as opposed to like now, like my deadlines are like client deadlines or real deal deadlines, or opposing or like one of the other attorneys, like one of the firms might set deadlines.
How much of those deadlines as a junior associate are like kind of hazing, where the person is like or is that like bullshit, or is that actually happen?
I mean, they
like,
are
totally like
there's you're not hazing, but it is
not hazing, but they're like just an asshole just to be an asshole kind
of thing. Thankfully at my firm there's not too much of that. Like there are tight deadlines for attorneys, and they are like pretty like demanding. But it's almost like they I mean, I say like the term like fake deadline is used a lot. because sometimes I think it's like one thing that's like frustrating for your junior is if you have an internal deadline, because like maybe like the mid-level associates not thinking it through, or even the senior associates like not thinking it through, and they're like, oh, get this to me by noon tomorrow, but then they don't look at it for 3 days, and you're like, well, why did I stay? Like, so there are situations like that, just like in like big law.
Stayed up
exactly
all
that, like stayed up all night to do this, and it's like, was that a real deadline? And like, right, but sometimes the other person like, but so I don't have to deal with that anymore, which is nice. But yeah, it's pretty sustainable schedule. I mean, it is like my work, I do have a lot of like really, really, really intense periods where I do nothing but work, like 7 days a week, all day, like this summer, like, just like I'll still get a quick workout in the morning. But it's like, other than that, it's like, I get that was like 45 minutes of like that workout in the morning. I like always protect those like 45 minutes, right? Cause like that's a lot of times that's the best. That's like a lot of times like a 45-minute run. Exactly. It's like I need it like mentally, just mentally, it's just like, especially also, that's why I've been doing that, like running outside. Cause I just like, there's some days where there were some weeks if I worked out like just on a Peloton that I like, wouldn't leave the house depending on the day. Depending on the day.
Yeah.
And so
outdoor running,
so it's just to get outside, get some fresh air, get some sunlight, get some vitamin D. I've been into that. So but the other thing I've been sort of into lately is I've read like so much since I've been like, I get really into like reading once Mass was born, just because.
Yeah. And how do you like structure that? Like, how do you like, do you have like times, like certain days where you're like, Tuesdays at 3, I read for an hour, or like, is it just
I'll try to read. I'll try to read before
like,
bed, like for an hour, like I'll usually like on the weekends, or if like work permitting, like if I'm done at 10 o'clock, I'll try to read like 10 to 11, right, like for an hour before bed.
Yeah.
And then just try to get that in. But there'll be periods, like sometimes if work is like super busy, there will be times where work is just like super busy, and and I just can't get it in. But yeah, I've been into that, but I've been into like a lot of like the like personal growth, like mindset stuff lately.
Yeah.
I've been into like the whole, like, have you heard of like finite and infinite games concept at all?
I think I have, but like,
so I'm like, it's just like a sort of a way to think about like different like areas of life. Like, sort of, if you think of like life as sort of like a series of games, right? So like some games we play like have a definite endpoint, right? But like but we have like infinite games, like a job, right? Like for your job, the goal of a job is to like keep your job, right? There's no end. I mean, there's retirement, but there's like winning. You're not like, when it comes to like goal setting.
There's no point where you're like, oh no, like
I won the job,
like,
right?
I won the job,
right. And now you're done, right? So it's like it's sort of it's sort of an infinite game, right? Like that's a constant thing, and there's just not like just this definitive like endpoint where it's like, depending on where your other goals you may, once you hit your mark, then sort of the game is over. Like school, for instance, right? Like high school or like college, right? You get the degree, right? There is like an end to that.
But it's interesting. So what have you been reading about that? Like what about that is like, what's the update?
Right.
Like why should I, like, how does that help?
Why do you care? So I think it's just ways to like think about like, I think like, and one things I've sort of been, because I've been very into like optimization like lately, and sustain it, like just building like a lifestyle that's sustainable. The whole like sort of continuous improvement stuff. So like sort of like systems, like just trying to like develop certain habits, and just improve those habits throughout the day. And it's almost like put like parts of my life on like autopilot and just like continue to improve certain things. So very into like optimizing my day. So like my meals, like I just everything's like very like optimized, like when I'm doing it, like how much, what, like just how I order food. Like I'll do like grocery, like delivery service. Like I have like
Yeah.
just Amazon.
Yeah.
Everything's just like automated. Like everything's just like automated. I just try to like automate certain things. But the whole like games, it's just sort of like how I think about. It's just like a way to sort of just like just think about, just a way to think about your life. Like, so maybe like, so the way I think about like work, like my career is sort of a game, right? Being a dad is sort of a game. Being a husband is sort of is a game. Fitness is a game. Diet is a game. And so and I try to think about like, okay, how do I win each of those games, right? So like, how do I win like the fitness game, or like, how do I not lose the fitness game, right? I won't lose the fitness game. Like as long as I'm hitting those 45 minutes a day, or like 6 days a week. So if I hit my 45 minutes, I sort of won that game for the day, right? So I can sort of like check
So
that
like,
box.
so in terms of like the way you think about it, then is it's like this is an infinite game that I can kind of like
Yeah, what's
keep
the goal of
playing
the
if I
game?
get the yeah, the
Exactly. Yeah,
goal of
just
the
keep the
game is to
goal in
like
mind.
keep
Yeah,
playing.
keep the goal
Yeah,
in
okay.
mind, right? Because
Yeah.
I think some people get themselves like psyched out, like, or at least like for like, it's just a way to, I think like a mindset, like consistency, a way like what is the goal? Like what is the purpose? What you're doing? Like how do we, like why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
And how do you get better at it? Is I guess the just like a structured way of sort of thinking about like how you approach
Gotcha.
like
Because yeah, like the
life.
first thing you were like when you were describing infinite and finite games, and you're like, oh, school, diploma, and I'm like, well, you could like literally just reframe school as like I'm learning, and then now it's an infinite game. It
Right,
doesn't
right,
matter. You got
exactly.
you got a
Yes, yeah,
diploma,
infinite thing.
and like
Right.
I would be interested to see like if there is any data on like is one like what are the benefits and drawbacks of both, right? Like because
Yeah.
I think you probably could make an argument both ways. I'm like interested, like, so for instance, like if you have a like fitness, let's say take fitness, and
Yep.
you like one way to say you could say like, well, the infinite game of fitness is too amorphous, and you need to like make the game finite and say like I'm gonna do this, like bodybuilding. I mean
Yep.
that's not
Yep.
actually like
Yep. Yep.
doesn't make you fitter, right? But like you could say like this specific goal, and now like the game is finite, and you could argue that that would actually motivate you a lot better, and now like you're specific and like, but then like you said, like kind of, well, first of all, like what's the point, right? Like like are you really gonna like go try and win a bodybuilding show just because like, and then what, right? Like
Exactly.
and then now you have like a trophy on your wall, like cool, okay, like, but like the whole point of it was, and so maybe like the thing to do is to like to go back and forth, right? And have those like finite games within the infinite game where you're
Yes.
like sort of like
Exactly.
pushing this, and then but like don't lose sight of the fact that actually like I was just doing that to like make it fun and like have, and
Yeah.
like like even though like yeah, now that it's wrapped up, I still need to keep, like
No,
pushing, on
no,
the other,
no,
yeah, yeah.
I completely agree. Like the finite and infinite, like I don't know if one's necessarily better than the other, but I agree. It's like breaking those things down. It just sometimes it's difficult. Like I think just like as humans, like if there's not like I think like humans that crave like certain level of like certainty or like progress or a way to like sort of, at least I know I do. Like I like to have like I like making progress, like making the feeling of making
And like
progress,
have a
right?
plan and like
Yeah,
check
exactly.
off the boxes
Yeah,
and like
exactly, right? And so, but
yeah.
like a lot of life, but like a lot of like life is like not structured like that, right? Where you just like check the box and like get your gold star for the day,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah, yeah.
so this infinite games is sort of like, okay, like for the areas of life that are not like where there's not these sort of objective like concrete goals that are just how can we approach the, like how can we think about those activities
Yeah, yeah.
in a way that we can sort of like, just how should we think about those activities, right? Like how should we like think about like different areas of our life?
Dude, have you ever do you know who Cal Newport is?
Mm-mm.
Oh
Cal
man, he
Newport,
like dude, yeah, you have to look up like Cal Newport.
really?
This is yeah, so he okay, let's see. He is a he got his doctorate in computer science from
Okay.
MIT and is now a computer science professor at Georgetown.
Okay.
Um, he wrote like I don't know if you've heard the term deep work, but like he coined the
Okay.
term like that. Like he came up with the phrase deep work.
Yes.
Um, he like essentially like tying it back to so we're talking about infinite and finite goals, right? And like um you so you, what did you say about that though? There's something you said there that like is it actually like kind of mirrors what I've heard him talk about. He has a podcast called Deep Questions where he like
Okay.
talks about like a lot of this stuff. And
Yeah.
so I think it was about like productivity. So a lot of times basically yeah, I think you were saying that like you lose sight of the goal, right? And you
Yeah.
don't know like and part of the reason for that is that the goal itself is sort of amorphous, right? It's
Yep.
not like a clear like, oh, you got a 7 out of 10 on this. It's like, well, you
Right.
did this like, this draft of this paper and it's like pretty good, but like you missed these pieces, or like, wow, that's really
Right.
good. And like a lot of times the difference between the really good one and the pretty good one is kind of subtle, but it actually like ends up having like a huge outcome difference, in like in the real world, right? Like in the things that we do. Anyways, so yeah, forget my train of thought though.
No,
There's a point
all
there
good.
that no, there's a point there that I'm trying to like
Was
get
it
to
about the
though.
progress or like making
Um,
a progress or deep work or like
Oh
set?
yeah, so yeah. So basically, what he was saying, like one of his points is that in essentially like the modern like knowledge economy, like
Mm-hmm.
we took like these ideas of like productivity from like previous like industrial and agricultural systems where we were like, okay, like if you want to get more efficient, like you have to make this number go up, the number of bushels of corn per acre or whatever. Or like, oh, you want to get more efficient as a factory worker, it's the number of Model Ts you make per, labor
Yep.
hour or whatever, right? And like so we kind of have an idea that we can do the same thing with knowledge work, but we
Yep.
can't. Like it's
Okay,
like
that's
essentially
super
and
interesting.
like
Okay.
then the whole game changes once you realize that, because then you see like everybody like that's like doing knowledge work jobs, like 9 times out of 10 they're just like doing these like weird like they're like working so that they look busy, because that's essentially like how we as a knowledge sector have like defined productivity.
Yep.
Like de facto we're just like, oh yeah, like productivity is just like the number of widgets you crank, but like
Yep.
really like all our jobs are a lot more like amorphous, and the difference between doing a really good job and like not is actually like kind of subtle, and you can't really like as a manager even see it. A lot of times it's just
Right.
outcomes that happen that are good or bad, like 6 months, a year down the line, right? And so like as an employee though, if you want to do it, his like the book that he wrote kind of that like calls all this out is Slow Productivity is like the name of it. And
Okay,
like
I'm gonna have to read it.
the whole
This is like
point
right
of
up my
it.
alley. This is like
Dude,
right
yeah,
up.
the
This
whole
is
point of it is like sustainable productivity, like being a high achiever, but like not getting burnt out. Like
okay.
in fact, I think that's the like subtitle of the book is like the art of like productivity without burnout, or
Okay.
something along
That is like that
it's
is
like
next on my
literally
Kindle.
like exactly what you were
That's going
saying.
to my
Yeah,
Amazon. That's
yeah,
going to be my Amazon cart right after this
yeah,
conversation. Because that is like
yeah,
right up
dude.
my alley.
Um,
That's right up my alley. Because I'm actually the book I'm reading right now. It's called The Goal. Actually, funny enough, which is actually about factory work. It's like it was funny. We actually read it. And I like read it in like business school, like 10 years ago, or part of in business school like 10 years ago. But anyways, it's all about like operations and efficiency. And it's like and it's like in a job, like what is the goal? And it's like, you mentioned that about like looking busy, right? Like that's how like we feel this like urge, like at work always have to be busy and
Demonstrating busyness, not just like being busy, but
exactly,
like looking like you're busy. That's the weird
exactly,
thing about it. It's like
exactly. So, and in like in the book The Goal, it's sort of his like plant, his factory is having financial issues, and he's trying to figure out like we do like this manufacturing, like it's like assembly plant, and they're just trying to figure out like why are we losing money, like what is the goal of this manufacturing plant, and like why are we like so inefficient, like what should we be do like what like or what metric, like how do we know if we're a good plant, like what metric are we like should we be using to see if like we are like is
Right.
like we don't want to be efficient for the sake of being efficient, right? If we're not making money. And so it's sort of it goes through it's actually it's like a it's fiction, but uh it's like a business operations based
Gotcha.
book. But but there's just a part of the book where the manager's walking the factory floor and like there's two guys sitting around not doing anything because they had like met their quotas for the day. And he's like, back to work. He's like, what are you doing? Like you should be like going doing some work. But like after he has the encounter, he's like wondering like, is that actually going to make us any more money? Like if they hit their quota and like there's like they're sort of like where they are in the supply chain, like whether like what they're doing, is it actually going to do anything to like
Right. Yeah.
change
Like
to change
the
any amount of
bottom
money
line in
in
any
those few
way. Yeah, yeah.
moments, right?
And in
So
fact, like, and in fact, it's actually like I think like Cal's point a lot of times is like it's actually counterproductive because then those people like they could have been having a break then, and then when like it's time to actually like do more work, they're actually like
yeah,
doing a better job, and like and they're incentivized to actually like work harder because they might get done early and have a break,
yeah,
versus like
exactly,
if they get yelled at now, like like it doesn't take a genius to figure out they're just gonna fucking drag their feet next time and like
yep,
finish right on time. Like
yep,
why would you finish early? Like there's
yep,
like yeah,
yeah,
and so like
and
those sorts of like
the whole
yeah.
I will say the whole appearing of business is definitely part of uh for whatever reason that like the like law school big law culture, that's very much a thing, right? It's almost this like
Yeah, yeah,
hierarchy, like the busier the better, right? Like
yeah,
it's almost
yeah.
just this hierarchy. It's like it's almost like how you like whoever's the busiest like wins, right? I mean it's just such a
Well,
weird, that's just sort of how I mean.
and like I mean, like in IT, it's very similar, right? I mean,
Mhm.
it's just like, but it's all like it's not even like it's even it's like more superficial. I feel like it's just more like these like stupid like chats that you get that like it's all like Teams messaging and it's like and like Cal's the best about this, but he has like this like term that he calls like the hyperactive hive mind. He's like that's like so he's I think he's been writing actually since he was an undergrad at Dartmouth.
Okay.
So he's
Oh no.
like he's
Okay.
got like 7 books or something, 8 books.
Okay.
But he started like when he was a student writing about like student books, and then he wrote a book called like So Good They Can't Ignore You,
Oh,
which was
interesting.
about
Okay.
like how to make money in the world and like
Interesting.
it was like pushback to the like follow your passion. I think it was like right after Steve Jobs did the like follow your passion commencement address,
Yeah.
and he was
Okay.
like that's actually like terrible advice because like what if you don't have a passion, and like like basically I think it was like 90% of like Canadian like high school students passion was like hockey or something. It's like he's like
Right.
well that's bullshit, like nobody's gonna like
Yeah.
90% of students aren't gonna be hockey players, this is absurd. And so like he's like well he went out and he's like kind of like does like journalist type stuff, and like yeah he just went out and interviewed a bunch of people that like claimed they were really happy with their jobs and like really satisfied, and like essentially like his um system for getting happy with your job is like build rare and valuable skills that the market cares about and then leverage those skills to request what you want basically. So if you want
Okay.
more money, like leverage those skills to get more money. If you want more time off, or like
Okay.
don't like because he's like essentially like a big part of like what happens typically in a company is like there's a track, right, that like people
Yep.
follow, and then like so you're like at the promotion step and like most people just kind of go with the flow, but like at that point that's actually the point where you go like you use your rare and valuable skills that you've built up over the time with the company to say like actually like I'm really good at like these things and I can demonstrate performance there, like let me keep doing that, but like give me these other things, give me like an extra like 6 weeks vacation, or like whatever the remote work agreement or like whatever the thing is that's going to make your lifestyle better, and then you negotiate for that like there instead of going down the the track towards essentially what ends up being like more responsibility, more more work, more pay, kind of the way that like normal promotion tracks go during a anyway. So that was I think like his he wrote that book like right when he was like out of college, right? And he was like looking for a job. Um And a lot of his like stuff is like super super interesting. And then like the next book he wrote was Deep Work, and that was
Okay.
about essentially like, so how do you build up rare and valuable skills? And like his answer there is like focus on things without distraction.
Okay.
Focus on cognitively demanding things without distraction. Like that's
Distraction. Okay.
essentially like his answer to that, like the question of like how do you build up like skills that are rare and valuable is essentially like do hard things and like don't, and then like since then he's been more into like um a little more like techno criticism, like I guess what I would call it is like more like I think like digital ethics, I think is what he calls it now.
Okay.
Where it's like, yeah, like how to like interact with technology in a way that like still allows you to live a good life and like
Okay.
do that kind of, yeah. So anyways,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to read those because that sounds like exactly the type of books I sort of get
Yeah,
into.
yeah.
The
And he's
follow
like
your.
he's like a total like computer nerd, like like he got
I,
a PhD in like distributed systems computer engineering
yeah.
from MIT. I mean, like he's like
Yeah.
got like some solid nerd bona fides.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I eat that stuff up though.
Yeah,
Yeah. The whole
yeah.
follow your passion, like the follow your passion stuff is
Such bad advice.
well. Do you know? Do you know? Have you heard of Grit? Like Angela Duckworth's Grit. Have you heard of?
Yeah, I know the
Okay.
concept. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
yeah. So the
I've read
concept,
the
like
book.
Angela Duckworth's whole like thesis, is that the most successful people is based on their grittiness, like is based on grit, and
Mhm.
grit is just like perseverance. Essentially, it's just it's like motivation and perseverance for like a long term goal, right? So like people
Yeah,
are able, basically people that set a goal and are just able to grind it out for years, right?
yeah,
Are
and just get
is
it
the
done.
grittiest,
Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but like but
Over
sustained period
time,
of
over
time, yeah,
time, yeah,
over
yeah.
time,
Not
right?
not an all nighter at work, yeah, or at
Right. And like the
yeah, yeah.
one and part of the one thing that I sort of struggle with, because I feel like there is this like contradiction, like these like two ideas, like on like the one hand, there's like this big part of like culture that's like just start, go, follow your dreams, you only live once, seize the day, start, go do your thing, right? And then there's this other where it's like, no, it's just singular focus. If you want to be the best, single focused, grind through the boredom, stick with it, stick with the plan, just focus on the long term. And it's just very like one would sort of say, like Angela Duckworth will say, like passion, you sort of develop a passion
Yeah, yeah,
for a
yeah.
job. Once you get into it, like like you sort of get into the mastery, then the passion develops. The issue I have with that, like if you are, I mean, thankfully I'm not necessarily in this situation anymore, but if you are 3 years out of school, like if you just started your career and you're very early in your career and you're unhappy at your job, it's like you would tell that person to stick it out and try to grind through it, or do you like, because like maybe like it'll be a passion once they whatever
Yeah,
get 5 years into
yeah.
it, right? Like playing the piano, like you may hate like what I hate, like you could be like, oh, I hate the first 3 years of piano lessons, but then things sort of click. And then I love playing the piano, right? Like how long like it's trying to like balance that, like that time, like or just hop, because you don't want to like, or there's a person that right changes jobs every 6 months, right? And they kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
get, and they
yeah.
don't really,
Yeah.
and they don't necessarily
And then
progress,
yeah,
right?
is it like you're like not passionate about this and you hate your job, but you would hate every job, and so like on some level,
Right,
like it doesn't, like you can sit around and job hop, but like you'd be
right,
better off, yeah, like just sticking with it,
right.
yeah. And I
Yeah,
think
just I was just gonna say
yeah,
the
like
thing.
go
Let
ahead.
me just say it real quick. Yeah, the thing about Angela Duckworth, like the one issue I have with her like advice that, to like stick with things and like maybe it'll become your passion, is you have no idea at the time if it's going to become your passion or not. So it's such a
Yeah, yeah.
gamble. So the whole like, should I tell someone to follow their passion? Like I don't know what I think about that advice. Like I do think, I mean, we are on this planet for a finite amount of time, it's awful if you hate your job and you're miserable every day.
Yeah.
I mean,
the goal should be to have a job that you're passionate about.
Right, exactly.
But that doesn't necessarily mean you're at like that it's good advice at the time where you're searching for a job. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. And the other thing is like
trying to plan your career, you know, even
right.
Like,
and the one thing about like passion, like, so when it comes to passion, I think about like flow states a lot, right? So it's like, how do you know how do you know what your passion is, right?
One sec,
like,
I just realized my phone's at like 1%.
Okay.
My charger here. Shit.
Okay. Oh, good.
That work.
Yep.
There we go. I got on the charger, but I had to move across the room. Let's see.
All right. Let's see.
Try that. That a good? Or am I too low?
Yeah. You are sideways. Are you able to?
It isn't.
Are you able to rotate it?
I don't think so without it like getting on.
Okay. That's fine. I mean, honestly, I only have 10 minutes left to tape anyway, so we can go ahead and call it. Yeah. This was awesome though, man. I really appreciate you jumping on.
For sure, yeah.
Jumping on here. Definitely have you on again. This was great. This. I mean, like, I knew you were going to be like an easy person to talk to and easy to have a conversation with and have a good conversation with, and this exceeded my expectations. So,
excellent.
So, this is wonderful. Really appreciate it, man. And anything you want to plug or anything for our 5.5 listeners out there?
But anyways, let's just do it again sometime.
All right, absolutely, yeah, 1,000,000%, man.